Hello, Kelsey Taylor here, and welcome to a new video where I show some of my favorite Disney films. Now, I picked like a handful of them, so it may split into two parts, so this is going to be the first part where I show some of my favorite Disney animated films. I got some CGI ones as well, which are the Pixar ones, and some live action stuff, and I know I'm going to left off lots of other ones, and I have other Disney stuff than what I have here, but basically what I did is go through like some of my DVDs, picked out the ones that jumped to me right away that are like my favorite Disney films. And some of these are well known, so I'm not gonna like talk more about them. Like for example, the first one I have here is Pinocchio, and this is the 70th anniversary edition. And I've always liked this movie, and I used to have a lot of these Disney films on DVD, which like a lot of times I don't have anymore. That had these really good covers. Like this one definitely has some really good cover as well. And like most people know about this one. It's basically about Geppetto makes this puppet Pinocchio and wishes upon a star that that Pinocchio's a real boy. And then the blue fairy comes and then turns him into like a live puppet and tells him that if he's a good boy, he'll become a real one soon. And his conscience is Jiminy Cricket to make sure that he obeys the rules and such. It's such a classic film. You know, I've always loved this movie. And the next one is I did a review of this already. If you want to check it out, and it's a Goofy movie. It's basically like a film based off the Goof Troop series. And there was also a sequel to which I, for some reason, never cared much for. It's like one of my least favorite Disney sequels, but this is definitely a good one. The next one is a CGI one, which is not Pixar, but I don't watch this too much, but like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, well, it looks good, but I'm just like, I wasn't all hyped for it. You know, I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan. I never cared for Hannah Montana or any of that, but this is actually a good one. It's actually one of those films my mother and I watched on pay-per-view, and then I got on DVD like a few years ago. And it's both. It's about John Travolta is the voice of the dog, and basically the dog is part of a TV show which she thought is all real, and then his like owner voiced by Miley Cyrus, like basically he thinks she's kidnapped, and then he goes on a cross country try to find her. What he doesn't know is that like he doesn't realize he doesn't have superpowers. You know, it's like things that he did like beat up bad guys and all adventures with the girl is just part of a TV show. It's not real life. And I don't want to go much, but it's a really good film. I actually end up liking this a lot more than I thought I was. You know, I thought this was decent. And the next one is a film that I saw in theaters, and this is like one of those films that occurred around the time when Disney was in downfall. Like some anime movies will come out and like some of them wouldn't do so good, like bombs. Like I don't think this one did phenomenally well. It did well, and then Home on the Range came out later, and that bombed, and that made Disney not want to do 2D hand-drawn anime movies for years until they decided to do Princess and the Frog, and then they're back doing CGI movies. They also did Winnie the Pooh, which they announced was their last 2D anime movie. They're not going to do any of them anymore, which is too bad, because this is kind of like the style of Disney I grew up with. And this is like one of the... I saw Home on the Range in theaters, but this is the one I think holds up the best. It's Brother Bear, and there's also a sequel to it, which I watched back again, and the first one is worth seeing than part two. It's about a guy who basically what happened was his brother one of his brothers gets killed by a bear, and then he has to he wants to kill the bear in revenge, and then he does that, and then he gets transformed into a bear and has to go on a journey to turn himself back. And I really thought this was a good movie. It's no masterpiece, but I thought. And a lot of people got annoyed by the bear cub, Coda, which I think Coda's cute. Like he's just cute. He's not like one of my all-time favorite characters, but I thought he wasn't bad. He was voiced by the kid who was on the Bernie Mac show. He was in a lot of films, and he was also in the AVGN movie, which I don't know if any of my subscribers will see that, but he's in that one. So this is definitely worth picking up if you haven't seen it. And the next two, this one is my favorite Disney animated movie of all time. And I said in my favorite comedies video, this is like one of the first ones I saw as a kid. And actually, the first film I saw in theaters, like the year it came out, like I was like a year old. I always ask my mother questions like, what did I do as a kid? Because thing is, I would really like to see this on the big screen again. They released this in theaters in 3D years ago, and I never got to see it. But it's like it's like a very good film. It's The Lion King, which I've always loved. I mean I love lions, except for that MGM lion logo, which my lifelong phobia. It's just I don't know. But The Lion King is such a good film. I even picked Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, which is like one of the few directed Disney DVD sequels that holds up well. Like some of them, like I've seen a few of them, but some of them aren't that good. But I think this is like one of the better ones, But yeah, I really love these films. I even own Lion King 1.5, but it's not my favorite, so you're not going to see this in this video. And this one I already did a review of it recently, along with the sequels. And it's The Little Mermaid. Like I said, this is definitely a classic. I don't need to go more into depth. And next one, I have this in a 2-pack. I was like, I don't know if I should include this one or not, but I'd rather to. Like, it's not one I've watched too much, but they're good films. It's Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. And I remember I have a story with Fantasia 2000. Like years ago when the VHS tape came out. Along with this is before we had DVD. We didn't start to get DVD until late 2002. So basically, my mother and I went to the Disney store, which is no longer around anymore, in a mall that I haven't been to in years. So I don't know what's there in this place. But anyway, we were trying to find Fantasia 2000 on VHS, and all they had was DVD copies. And I think we ended up finding one VHS copy in there. I don't know, but it was like hard to find because this is when DVDs was ready to take over and VHS was fading out, but this is back when we were still doing VHS tapes, but now of course it's just DVD. Like we don't do anything with VHS anymore. And we have yet to get a Blu-ray player, which I don't know when we're gonna get it, but yeah, so like the first Fantasia is a classic. Like both these films have the famous Sorcerer's Apprentice, of course, with Mickey Mouse. They're good ones. And this is one of the underrated Disney films, which I don't hear people talk about as much. And if you haven't seen this, it's a must-see. Like this film has to be seen more. And it's The Great Mouse Detective. It's about this girl. Her father gets kidnapped, and so she goes to Basil Bagel's Street for help. This is kind of like the Disney's version of Sherlock Holmes. But this is the one that's not spoken about as much, not seen much. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. This is like don't know what year this came out. It was released sometime in the 80s. And Vincent Price does the voice of Ratican, the villain in the film, and it's such a good movie. It's really awesome. I would recommend it. And the next one is another Disney classic. I have a lot of classic ones here, and it's Bambi. I even like part 2 as well, but I didn't include it here. But it's just everyone knows about this. It's a really, really cute Disney film. And I have here, now, I'm not going to recommend the sequel at all. I like using clips of it for Animashes and VMCs, but as a movie, it's just it's like my least favorite Disney movie ever. But the first Fox and the Hound is a really, really good movie. It's just about a fox meeting a dog, and then they become friends when they're supposed to be enemies. It's a good one. And the next one, I need to watch part 2 again. I haven't seen it in years, but The Rescuers. It's like both films are about like two mice going on an adventure to rescue a kid. Like both these is like the first film. I'm trying to figure out where this is set. It's set on a like a swamp area, and the second film is set in Australia. Like the second film is definitely like, even if I watched this, I would say it's a must see. Like I hear Doug Walker talk about this like a lot sometimes. This is like one of the films that's like better than the first film, and nobody even seen it. So definitely check out both films, especially the sequel. I'm sure I'm gonna love the sequel. It's just because I like really good films, and I'm sure it's gonna like top the first one. But like I said, I need to watch this again. The next one is another Disney classic. And I have this in a special edition when they released it. Like this is like during a time where they did this with The Lion King as well. Back in the early 2000s, they released it in IMAX theaters, not like in theaters worldwide, not in 3D, but back then there was no IMAX theaters nearby here. You know, there wasn't one back then. This is a special edition of Beauty and the Beast with this is like the 2002 edition with Human Again. And this DVD also has, of course, the original cut. It also has the one they premiered at the New York Film Festival in 1991 when the film wasn't completed. And it's interesting to watch. Now, I don't think it's on the new Blu-ray. I think this film's back in the vault again. But I don't know if you can find this DVD anymore, but this is, I mean, everyone knows about Beauty and the Beast. This is another classic Disney film. And the next one is another one I was trying to figure out. I watched this a lot. Like I love cats. Like I said, I love lions. I love felines. I even used to have 2 cats. May they rest in peace. And this is the Aristocats. Which it was like released around the time, like it was like right after Disney died. Like another time where they didn't have any successful animated Disney films. I think The Rescuers did well, and Fox and the Hound, but not successfully as well as it did like years before, and like in the 80s and 90s, and now today. Like I said, with Frozen did so well, it's like putting Disney back on their feet. But yeah, this is another one I really like. And the next one, the last DVD I have is when this came out. So I have to move the mouse so my computer doesn't shut off. But like when this first came out, it wasn't like this film's like distributed by Disney on I think on home video, but in film festivals it wasn't released by Disney. But I'm gonna count this as one. And this is like another underrated film that a lot of people, I'm sure some of you may know this, and it's The Brave Little Toaster. It's about 5 appliances, yeah, I thought there were 4 for some reason. That basically they're stuck in this cabinet, and then they always used to see, they call him their master like every summer, and then recently he hasn't been coming to the cabinet, and then so they decided to leave and to like move out of the cabin, go on an adventure in the woods, and all the stuff that happens along the way to find their master. And it's such a good film that not that many people know of. I mean, I would recommend this as much as The Great Mouse Detective. If you haven't seen any of them, they're definitely worth checking out. Now, I have 2 VHSs that I have here that I don't have on DVD. And of course, the first one is the first Disney animated feature. And I haven't watched this in so long. It's another one I used to watch a lot. And it's Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And it's, everyone knows about this. They made so many of Snow White films. And they're right now doing a live action one of Cinderella, which I would pick Cinderella if I still had the VHS tape that I've yet to get on DVD, but that's another one I will include here. And another one is I wouldn't recommend this as much as Brave Little Toaster and The Great Mouse Detective, but this is one I watched a lot. It's a fun and fancy free. This one has like 2 stories on it, both by was it Bongo the Circus Bear, hosted by Jiminy Crick, and the other one Mickey and the Beanstalk by Edgar Bergen. I hope I pronounced his name right. One with the puppets. This back in the 40s. This one I liked a lot. I don't have much to say about it. Like, this is another one I haven't watched in so long. So that's my favorite Disney animated movies here, and I'm gonna be showing more in part 2, like the Pixar ones and the live action ones. So until then, I'll see you guys in part 2 for that. Bye.